Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of No One Is Coming. I am your host, Janaia, and today I want to talk about something a little fun. It's fun in my opinion, at least, and it's reinventing yourself. Let me first start by saying reinventing yourself is not about trying to be someone else. It's not about faking it, I guess you could say, or trying to become someone that you're genuinely not. I believe reinventing yourself is more of evolving and allowing yourself and actively being a part of the evolution into the next best version of yourself, using everything that you've learned, using who you are and just, actively evolving into something better, something greater, getting closer and closer to, the goal of who you want to be in the life that you want to have. And let me also note that this is a journey. It's not something that you ever fully complete. At least I don't believe so. I think you are always wanting to be the next best version of yourself. You're always wanting to grow. There are always going to be things that you just want to become, whether that be happier, healthier, more at peace, living more authentically, whatever that may be, whatever the case may be. I think it is something that's just a part of human nature. There's no end point until, you reach your end point. And since none of us are there right now, we have the chance and opportunity to continue to grow. And I'm on this journey with you guys. Like, I have reinvented myself multiple times throughout my life, and I'm currently going through it again. I'm at a particular stage where, I'm a little tired of who I was. There are some things that I'm like, okay, I'm past that now. I'm ready to continue to evolve and transform and just grow, grow and glow. I'm ready for all of that. Okay. So I am on this journey too. And these are some of the things that I've done in the past and that I'm currently doing right now to, reinvent myself, become Janaia 4.0, because, I'm in like the 3.0 version right now. So I'm coming Janaia 4.0. And yeah, we can go ahead and jump right into it. The very first thing that you want to do when you are starting this process of reinventing yourself is to change your identity. That sounds a little weird, especially given what I just said about not trying to be someone else. But you do want to change your identity. And hear me out. I'm not saying to try and be someone else. I'm saying to figure out who you want to be as far as what qualities you want to have, what characteristics, who do you want to be? You want to figure out, what does that next best version of me look like? Who is she? Like, here's a perfect example. If you currently, say, smoke cigarettes and you don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore, you no longer want to be a smoker, you feel as if that part of you want to kind of die back there and you want to evolve into something else, someone else that doesn't smoke. You want to start to identify as someone who doesn't smoke. There's this book, Atomic Habits, and I can't remember the author right now. James Clear. His name is James Clear, I believe. I hope that's right, because I'm not going to change this. Anyways, James Clear, Atomic Habits. If it's the wrong author, which I don't think it is, then, everyone knows the book. If you don't know the book, if you go on Amazon and put in Atomic Habits, the right book comes up. And I'm pretty sure the author's James Clear. Anyways, doesn't matter. In his book, Atomic Habits, he talks about this whole smoker thing. And there's one thing to want to not smoke anymore, right? wanting to stop smoking and becoming someone who doesn't smoke. And it's a whole lot easier to take on the identity of someone who doesn't smoke than saying, I'm trying to quit smoking. And that's the example. So you're currently a smoker, you don't want to be a smoker anymore. You go on your lunch break and someone offers you a cigarette. Someone who is trying to stop smoking and they're like working really, really hard to do so will say, oh no, I'm trying to quit. Right? Because they don't really identify as someone who isn't a smoker anymore. They're trying to not be a smoker versus someone who takes on that identity. They've made that decision. They say, I'm not going to smoke anymore. I'm not saying it's easy, but this is, what they've done. And they're taking on this identity. When offered that same cigarette, instead of saying, I'm trying to quit, they'll say, oh no, I don't smoke. Right? Because you identify as someone who isn't a smoker. So that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to figure out, who is this next best version of yourself? What does she look like? Right? Like, what does she do? Who is she? Where does she go? How does she feel? How does she show up in the world? Really take time to figure that out. It's probably one of the most important things because it's the foundation of everything else that's going to follow. You can't really move in any one direction if you don't know where you're going. So you want to really take time to have a vision of who it is that you're wanting to become. What does Janaia 4.0 look like for me? So, and that obviously is me. You want to figure out your 4.0. But yeah, you want to get really, really clear on who you want to become. Take on that identity and really embody that identity. Like once you figure out who she is, like embody that. I heard an interview recently, and I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about a good actor versus a mediocre actor. And the whole fake it till you make it thing kind of applies there because mediocre actors play a particular role. They're pretending versus a really, really good actor. They sell the hell out of that role. Like they embody that character so well, you almost think it's them. Like, I don't know about you, but there are so many people that have played bad guys that I see them as bad guys. I don't know them personally, obviously, but I see that if I saw them in the streets, I'm gonna look at them as a bad guy because they played it so well. Like they embodied that character so well. And that's what you want to do when you're figuring out and changing your identity into this next best version of yourself, is you want to embody those characteristics. Embody what it is that this new version of you is. So it's very important to understand the mind shift that has to happen in order to kind of move into this next level, right? Because we're elevating, we're growing. That's a good thing. So yes, change your identity, understand who you want to be, and start to embody her. The next thing is going to be aligning your habits to this next best version of yourself. You want to align your habits to your goals. Your habits are literally the thing that makes you, ultimately. If you look at your current life, the good and the bad, it is a culmination of your current habits, whatever that may be. If you are a little overweight, you probably have some pretty poor eating habits, or maybe you don't exercise enough. That's not a habit. If you want to have clearer skin, maybe one of the habits you need to pick up is drinking more water. If you whatever it is that you want to do, or what you currently have is a result of the habits that you have. So you want to, like I said, figure out who you want to be. Who is this next you, right? What direction are we going? And once we know that, we can align our habits to that, because there's obviously going to be some things that need to change. In order to get new results, you got to have, do some new things. Do some things you've never done to get something you've never had. Because you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same thing. And that's just the rules of the universe. You can't get around it. So you're going to want to align your habits to your goals. What are your goals? Again, where are you going? Who is this next version of you? And you've embodied that, right? You've made that decision. You know, you're pretty clear, because we did that in step 1. We're pretty clear on who she is. So now we can simply just attach the habits that go with someone like that. For me, I really want it to be a little more organized and not have so much like clutter around just my space in my environment. So a habit that I have to pick up is, for instance, when I check the mail, I need to go through the mail and throw away the things that I don't need, handle the things that I do, and then throw that away too. Because otherwise, it's just going to pile up on my countertop of something that will one day get looked at or one day get thrown out. It's a mess. So that is a habit that I have to pick up on. So you need to figure out who is this person and then attach those habits to them. Create the habits that are going to go with the goals that you have for this next chapter in your life. If your goal is X, your habits need to be Y. So figure out the habits that are attached to this next person and align those. Number 3, the third thing is you want to create bite-sized goals. So yes, reinventing yourself and transforming into a new you, as great as that is and as exciting and amazing as that is, sometimes it's we have like a big vision. Like I know the vision I have like ultimately is completely different than the reality I'm living right now. And no, I'm not going to have that tomorrow. Like I would love to have my dream house tomorrow, but that's not realistic to do that. But a bite-sized goal is maybe I do a little better managing my budget in the month of June. That's a bite-sized goal. And that's something that I can work on right now and accomplish right now. And something good about bite-sized goals is that you create these little wins. And so you get these little dopamine hits whenever you accomplish something, and they're realistic, they're in range, there's something you can do. So if the next best version of yourself, is in shape, but maybe you're not in shape and you feel like to be in the body that you're comfortable with, you need to lose 50 pounds. Well, you're not going to lose 50 pounds in a week. That's unrealistic. I don't know in any scenario where you can do that at all. So that may not be the initial goal, to lose 50 pounds, but you can start by losing 5. And then again, like in step 2, right? We want to attach or align the habits with the goals. Well, in order to lose 5 pounds, what do you need to do? What did the people who are losing weight do? And then create those habits, and you can do those. You'll get that win in losing 5 pounds. And the more that you lose 5 pounds, it eventually turns to 10 and 15 and 20. And next thing you know, you've lost the 50 pounds and you're loving it, right? So you want to create bite-sized goals. Quick recap. We've changed our identity. We're aligning our habits with our goals, and we're creating small, realistic, bite-sized goals to move in the direction in which, is this next best version of ourselves. And along the lines of goals, before I move on, no general goals. Like no, I just want to lose weight. You need to be very specific on your goals. That's like goal setting 101. So you need to be specific. If you want to save money, how much money? Like be specific in your goals. And bite-sized goals also mean a smaller window of time. So yes, be realistic. We're not losing 50 pounds in a week, but we also don't want to just say to lose 50 pounds, because we could always be in a state of losing 50 pounds for like all eternity if we don't have a short time period in which we're trying to reach that. So we want to tailor it down. We're making everything specific, bite size, realistic, and in a specific shorter period of time. I like to do things within a quarter. So, every 3 months, it's like a 90-day type goal. So what are your 90-day goals? And that feels really good too, because you get to see the progress. And by the end of the year, it's amazing. It feels amazing to, see all that you've accomplished, because you're not trying to stretch it out forever. You're accomplishing things little by little, week by week, month by month. And then when you look back at your 90-day goal, it's nice to check that box. So bite-sized goals. Next, the fourth one is to invest in yourself. And specifically, 3 areas. There's 3 areas of investing in yourself that are really important to reinventing yourself and becoming, again, this 4.0 version of you. One is, and I don't care what people say, they may say that this is a little shallow, but it's really important. And argue with your mom, because it's important. Invest in one thing, one specific thing that you feel will improve your appearance. One thing. Call it shallow, call it what you want, but I am a firm believer that when you look good to you, when you look good to you, I'm not saying for anybody else, but when you look good to you, you feel good too. You move in the world completely different than when you don't like the way that you look. So find one thing that is going to make you feel good. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, ooh, yes, love that for me. Find something, just one. Start with just one. I'm not saying, again, we're not trying to become somebody completely different, but find one thing that you would like and invest in yourself in that area. If you want to wear your hair a certain way, invest in getting your hair done. If you want to get your nails done a certain way, invest in getting your nails done. Whatever it is that you feel is going to make you feel good about you, invest in that thing. Pick one thing. And the reason why I'm saying one thing, at least right now in this transitional stage, is because you want to be consistent with that one thing. So again, if it's wearing your hair in a certain way or getting your hair done a certain way, we want to be consistent. We're not just doing it one time, because we're becoming this next best version of ourselves. So if we need to add that into the budget, then we need to add it into the budget, because we're going to consistently be doing this thing, whatever that thing may be. So you want to find one thing that you feel is going to improve the way that you look, and you're going to invest in that. And you are going to rearrange so many other things in your world in order to make sure that that is something you can consistently do, because it's important. So the next thing under investing in yourself, because there's 3, that was one. The second is you want to invest in something towards your personal or professional development. It just feels really good when you're progressing in life. And of course, we want to be happier and healthier and all of these things, but our personal development is a part of all of that as well. Our mental health, our physical health, like how happy we are, growth is a part of that. Like progress is a big part of like quality of life and joy. There are studies, I don't have them in front of me, but they exist. You can Google it. It's a thing. So you want to make sure that you're doing something for your personal and or professional development, whether that's learning a new skill. If you, like me, I really like to read a lot of nonfiction books in particular areas. Like right now, I want to learn more about money. So I'm reading a lot of books in that area from people who are experts in that field so that I can learn more about investing and, maybe stock trades or real estate or whatever the case may be, because I want to learn about money. Because the big goal and the next version, the 4.0 version and the 10.0 version, right, are all a lot better with money than the versions before of Janaia. So that's the way that I'm using, my personal / professional development, because it helps professionally too, understanding these different avenues of money. So that's the other one. And the third piece in the investing in yourself is invest in a hobby, and a strict hobby, something that's just for fun. It is not related to like any kind of work, business, entrepreneur, nothing like that. Just for funsies, just for fun. You want to find a hobby that is just for fun and try something new. Now, this can be really difficult, and I will be honest with you guys. This is probably the hardest one for me currently, is finding a hobby, because my life revolves around I'm so busy. There's work, and then there's kids, and then there's kid activities, and all of their life, So it's hard as a mom to do something just for fun, just for funsies, and not necessarily self-care related. So not like going to get a massage or a facial or anything like that. That's important and that's good, but that's not falling under this category. Like a true hobby, like playing tennis or crocheting or dancing, going to a dance, something that's just for fun and just for you. So I haven't actually figured this part out yet. I am still on my quest of finding a hobby. I'm trying a couple of things, but nothing that has stuck yet that I really enjoy. So if you guys have any recommendations, please share. So that's 4. And then the last thing, the 5th thing, is go to new spaces. So go somewhere else, try something a little different, maybe go to a networking event or go to a book club or a local, something. There's tons of Facebook groups with tons of different people with different interests. Go explore some of them. If something sounds interesting, go check it out. I know me, this is going to sound a little nerdy, and I don't care. I really like Monopoly, and there's not too many people who like to play Monopoly because the game is really long, and I get that, but it's really fun. And there are some people, a small community of people who enjoy Monopoly, and I found a group of people that meet every other week, and they play Monopoly. Sounds a little geeky, but they might be my people. I don't know. So I am going to go to this Monopoly playing game night type thing and and check it out, because I've never been, and I'll never know if it's something I enjoy. And you never know who you may come across, who you may meet, who you may connect with in different spaces. So again, if you want something new, you have to do something new. And when you are becoming someone new, you want something new, right? You want a different life. I'm not saying completely different, but you want something different than what your current situation is. So you got to do some different things. So go into some new spaces. Check out a new place for happy hour. Someone invites you somewhere. Instead of saying no like you always do, maybe say yes and go check it out. Meet some new people, go to some new spaces, have some new experiences. Even if it's something that you're like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about going to a country bar. I don't really like country music. Go. Check it out. You never know. And if it's not your thing and you didn't enjoy it, then you never have to go back. But go and check it out, because you never know. You may love it and you may experience something that you had no idea you would enjoy so much. So new spaces, create new spaces, and go into new spaces. So that's it. Those are the five things that I've done in the past and that I'm currently doing, because like I said, this is my glow up season, y'all. Like, your girl is transitioning into this amazing woman, and I love her. I love her so much. I am thankful for who I was before, but who I am becoming, oh yes, we're vibing. So those are the 5 things. Quick recap. 1, you want to change your identity. Figure out who you're becoming, who you want to glow up into, and change your identity into her. Start showing up as her. Embody her. The second, align your habits with your goals. Your habits are going to create your reality. So if you want to change your reality, change the things you do, change your habits, and align the habits to this new reality, this new version of yourself. 3, bite-sized goals. Realistic, time-bound, specific, bite-sized goals. Things that you can accomplish within 90 days. Get those wins. You show up different in the world when you're always winning. Like, when you start checking them boxes like, dang, I did that. When you do the things you say you're going to do, it feels good. Like, you start having a winner's attitude because you're a winner. So create these bite-sized goals, get that dopamine hit, and keep on keeping on, girl. Do your thing. The 4th one is to invest in yourself. Pick one thing that you feel is going to improve your appearance. Invest in that. Do something that is good for your professional or personal development. And then invest in a hobby, something that's just for fun. Strict hobby. Nothing business related. Just hobby. Nothing husband, boyfriend related, nothing kid related, just the for you funsy hobby. And then finally, you want to create and go to new spaces. Thank you for tuning in to No One Is Coming. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, remember that you are enough, you are worthy, and you are not alone. Keep shining, girl.